Welcome back for part 3 of Rustling Pages' special edition radio show with Steve Kent. Steve, so far we've talked about kind of who you are, your experiences at MUN in the radio show. You've talked about your experience with elections, and past and present. And I just first like to thank you for sharing all the stuff with us. And we would now like to speak a little bit about your platform in this campaign. So could you start maybe by sharing some of the most significant aspects of your platform thus far?
You'll hear a real focus from me on innovation over the next number of weeks, because I really believe we need to do things differently. We need to be bold, we need to be innovative, and our party has lots of ideas on how to move things forward for Newfoundland and Labrador, and I have lots of new ideas on how to make the province healthier and stronger. Each week during this campaign, I intend to roll out new policy and platform ideas. Already, I've introduced some policy ideas around modernizing the House of Assembly and making it work better for the people of Newfoundland and Labrador, and using technology to improve how MHAs connect with citizens. In addition to that, I've announced that I would hold a series of Premier Summits on issues that really matter to Newfoundlanders and Labradorians. And it's not just about listening. Everybody in this race and every politician is going to say, well, I'm going to listen and I'm going to work with people. Well, of course we are. That comes with the job. And no political leader is going to be successful without really listening to people and connecting with people. But these summits are not just about going around and gathering ideas. They're about working with the right people, getting the right people in the room to try and find solutions to issues that are complex. And there's no simple solution and there's no quick fix. You know, for instance, one of the summits that I want to hold in the first number of months in office is a summit on rural respect and rural sustainability. I want to see the wealth shared to all areas of our province. And think about the opportunities that exist. We've got tourism. We've got the fishery with a new $400 million fund to help us build the fishery of the future. We've got forestry and agriculture and mining. And there's new opportunities in those sectors that we haven't really pursued. I spent a year as Parliamentary Secretary for Forestry and Agri-Foods, and I saw huge potential that isn't being tapped. You know, we need to produce more food in Newfoundland and Labrador. Food security should be a big concern for everybody who lives here. We need to do some things to encourage young entrants to enter agriculture and to start businesses. We need to make sure they have the access to the capital we need. We've got lots of farmers that don't have a retirement strategy, and we need to help them with succession planning. There are lots of innovative things we can do to strengthen and grow agriculture in Newfoundland and Labrador. Those are the kinds of things you'll hear me talking about. I plan to lead summits on a northern strategy, on doing more to make the most of the opportunities that exist in Labrador, and to make sure that the people of Labrador are really benefiting from our resources. I'd like to see us do more around health and wellness. I think we've got to be proactive. We talk lots about how to take care of sick people, but we need to talk more about how we prevent people from getting sick. We need to do more work around health promotion and education, and those will be the kinds of things I'm talking about. We need to diversify our economy. The oil is great, and it's done amazing things for our province, but we have to be ready for life after oil. And we have to, if we're going to create real sustainable growth in various parts of the province, then we've got to diversify the economy in a focused way. We've got some challenges around our labor market. You'll hear me talking about those things as well. I think we've got some real transportation challenges in the province. So one of the things I've rolled out already is a commitment to do a comprehensive review of Newfoundland and Labrador's transportation system. We have road maintenance issues in this province that need to be addressed. But beyond just the roads, we have to look at the ferries. We have to look at air travel. We have to look at whether there's a potential for creating a physical link between the island and Labrador. Those are the kinds of things that I think need to be explored in terms of transportation infrastructure. I have other policy ideas as well. I think we need to take a new approach to relationships with other governments. We have to figure out a way to make more progress with the federal government and with our neighbors. When it comes to our natural resource development and creating transportation links, we need to have different kinds of conversations with provinces like Quebec. There are all kinds of federal issues that I want to see us have a real meaningful strategy for tackling. federal presence in the province, five-wing goose base, search and rescue, joint management of the fishery. There are lots of issues that affect Newfoundland and Labrador, and government needs to show strong leadership. I think it's time for a new energy plan for our province. The plan over the last 7 years has served us well, but it's time to chart the course for the future. I think we need to embrace technology. We need a digital strategy for government. We need a digital strategy for Newfoundland and Labrador. I've been spearheading our government's Open Government Initiative for the last number of months, and a big part of that is about how we use technology to better connect with citizens and to connect with one another. And I think there's a lot we can learn from other places. If you look, there's one country that jumps to mind is Estonia. They've done some amazing work around e-government, and the work that they've done to use technology to deliver government services is I think among the best in the world, and there's things we can learn from that. I think one of the assets we have in Newfoundland and Labrador is our creative people. We have amazing heritage and amazing culture. We have artists in all subsectors of the arts community that are world class. And I've seen countries like Iceland use that as an economic advantage. They've used that to grow industry and to grow the economy. And I think we need to celebrate our artists and recognize that they are an economic asset. And I think there's a lot more we can do in that regard as well. So I know I'm rambling on and on. I have lots of ideas. I'm passionate. I'm enthusiastic about the potential that exists for the future, but we need to be different. We need to be bold. We need to take some chances. We need to take some risks. And we need to pursue those big ideas. And lots of people will say, "Oh, it's going to cost too much, or it's impossible, or it's not practical." But we need to explore all of those ideas, because somewhere in there will lie solutions that can drive us forward, so that we can take our rightful place in the country and in the world.
Cool. That's all great, and I do need to say that there's definitely a case to be made that you're being a lot more clear with what you plan to do than the other two candidates. I mean, listening and teamwork's important, but So what? I guess if you're the next premier, the next leader of the party, where do you see the next government's role in securing, I guess, long-term strategies and long-term growth for the province?
As I said earlier, this leadership race is about the future. It's not just about who gets to be premier for a number of months. It's about positioning our party for continued success and winning the election in 2015, and building on the success that we've created over the last decade. There's never been a better time to work here, or to live here, or to do business here, but the best is yet to come. There's still so much potential here that hasn't been tapped. And I think that we need governments that aren't just simply concerned about the next election, but are focused on the future. And that's why I'm unveiling policy ideas that are very much about the future. It's about creating sustainability in every region of the province and sharing the wealth. It's about developing new industries. It's about ensuring that we are responsible in our spending and that we manage our resources wisely, so that we pass on a good situation for our children and our children's children. We've got to reduce our debt. We've got to deal with the unfunded pension liability issue. It's about having meaningful long-term strategies and making real progress. And in some cases, you simply got to break it down and tackle one piece at a time. Some of these problems have plagued us for decades, and they're not going to be solved overnight. But you've got to start somewhere, and you've got to have a long-term view if you're going to be successful. And that's why I'm in this race. I want to lead. I mean, people have branded me as I think in some ways as being a career politician. Well, yeah, I've been in public life a long time, no doubt about it. But first and foremost, I'm a leader. And that's why I do this work that I do. Whether it's in community or business or in public life and politics, I like to drive change. I like to bring people together to solve complex problems. I like to articulate a vision and mobilize people to move us towards it. And I think that's what people want to see from government. It can't just be about the usual political rhetoric. And that's what I'm hoping I bring to this race, something new and different that can really show people that there's real hope and there's real inspiration for the future, and there's a lot of things possible in this province that we haven't even really begun to explore yet.
Absolutely. What I'm curious, and you're talking about leading, I want to I don't want to look too far in the future here, but when we talk about leading the entire province, Steve, would there be one message? I can't promise you that everyone in the province is listening right now, but if they were, and you were going to be able to reach them, what would that one maybe message be?
I want to show people throughout Newfoundland and Labrador that I can lead our province to an even better place. I know that people want something different, and I am incredibly passionate. I'm incredibly committed to Newfoundland and Labrador. And public service is who I am, it's what I do. And I'm in this race because I do have a young family, and I want to make life better for them, and I want to make things better for future generations. I think if we pull together, and if we think big, and if we act boldly, and if we're innovative, then there are opportunities here for all of us. And I think we need to work with people, and we need to work with regions to move this province forward. But it's time for some bold leadership, and I am committed to providing that for the people of the province. And I would encourage people to join my team and get involved in this effort as we work through this leadership race in the next couple of months.
That's all great stuff, Steve. So I guess the last thing we'll ask, we'll give you the last word to just kind of plug yourself and how people can get in touch and what people can do to get involved and help you out in this leadership race.
You won't find another candidate or perhaps politician in this province that's as connected and as accessible as I am. So I would encourage people to send me a message on Facebook or send me a tweet, or visit my website, stevekent.ca, where you'll find out how to get involved in the campaign, how to donate, how to volunteer, how to get active in your local district. It's all there at stevekent.ca. You can connect with me via social media as well. I pride myself in being available and being accessible, and I think we need to see more of that from our community leaders and from our business leaders and from our political leaders. So I would encourage people to get in touch. There is still opportunity to get involved in this campaign. There are ways for everybody to support this effort, and I hope that people will consider volunteering, donating, coming to convention, being a delegate, attending one of the delegate selection meetings. There are lots of ways to get involved. Don't be intimidated by the process. Just reach out to me, and I'll help you connect. And that we need to get people throughout this province better connected. We need to work with one another to solve some problems and face some of the challenges we have to deal with and move Newfoundland and Labrador forward.
Awesome. Well, thanks a lot for coming on the show, Steve. This is definitely our first kind of big boy interview that's not with someone just at MUN. So thanks a lot.
Thanks for
that. It's been a lot of fun. It's great to be back behind the microphone at CHMR and back on campus, and I hope we can do it again soon.
Absolutely.
Thanks again for the opportunity. I don't know if there's anything else you'd like to capture. One final word?
No, I just hope people will get involved. There's lots of opportunity to take part in this race, and you can be part of choosing the next leader for the party, more importantly, choosing the next premier of the province, and playing a direct role in helping shape that vision for the future.
Great, thank you. So this has been a special edition segment with Rustling Pages. Do a little shout out to CHMR. Thanks for having us, and stay tuned for more on Steve Kent. Thank you very much, Steve.